Alright, welcome to another match of Ather. We're taking on a Japanese player here with the Golvig team again. And we're going to go into this one, try to get it wrapped up pretty quickly. I'm not like fully awake, I'm just like going to use like 50% of my brain. Because I'm not even like really focused right now. I would have tried to Fjorm this, but then Fjorm doesn't do well against that Sanaki, so not the best idea. Especially because I would have Robin, and the Fjorm team doesn't have Peony on it, or Peony. I really mean penalty neutralization, but Peony. So we're gonna Golvig this. Kagero doesn't do very well against Formortis. He just has too much defensive bulk. But Sanaki should be able to do it, or maybe even Golvig. Although I don't believe I'll be able to go on this turn because of the trap placement. I'm pretty sure that magic trap, hex trap is real, and it would also make sense for that gravity trap to be real as well. There's really nothing on the other side, so I don't see why the placement would be pointless on the other end. So pretty sure those two are the real ones. So yeah, what am I gonna do here? Let me think real quick. Hold on.
Leave it to us.
I think I gotta get rid of the traps. I think that's probably the best thing for turn one.
Undoubtedly.
Let's try to initiate here, because even if okay, it's real. Never mind. Yep, I was right all along, and that was the plan all along, to do the disarm trap right there. And then we're gonna reposition Golvig out of the way. Probably don't have to, because I don't think the enemy team's range is, so we can just leave her there. That's fine. And
shall we proceed?
okay, so we got a couple options to be able to take out the Formortis there. It's not good for me to go on in this turn, or go in on this turn, so we're gonna hold off for now. And yeah, I'm just checking to see if he has any card in his weapon.
Softly now.
I'm kind of the plan also is to get rid of the dual units here, because Sanaki's dual ability, ninja refresh. So yeah, that's probably going to be helpful. This setup is probably for the best, but I don't foresee any rally traps happening. Even though Heather has the rally, she isn't going to take any action because the range, no one will be threatened, so she won't need to move. So yeah, we're fine here. Okay. We're gonna take out Formortis. Let's see what the okay, he's transformed, so that probably makes some sense. What is that? -6 to my attack. Where is that coming from? Right. The attack res sabotage. I didn't want to waste a dance, but I'm probably gonna have to. The debuffs are too much. Sabotage right there.
Undoubtedly.
I think I'm probably just gonna go in this turn. I just gotta figure out, like,
shall we proceed?
Course of action. Yeah. I literally have nothing to say. I'm just trying to think of how to go in here, but who goes first? Who do I dance? It's probably gonna be Golvig, right? Because Golvig gets that extra action. Yeah, I think it's gotta be Golvig. I can't use the dual skill unless I take out the 2 dual units, so yeah. And also sabotage will be laid down, and I'll get the extra 6 damage to be able to take out Formortis. So it makes sense if it's Golvig. Alright, let's do this. We're gonna go with the dance, and then take it from there. I'm really worried for what they're gonna do. I hope the Light Mythic isn't too strong, because that doesn't bode well for defense in Dark Season, because it is kind of tough right now, given how strong the offense is for Light Season in comparison to Astra Anima. So I'm really hoping that it's not going to be too much of a powerful Light Mythic, even though they just released Kavase. Whoa, fancy. Kavase. I don't believe she is strong enough to hold up Dark Season defense on her own. It's really going to be down to what type of new units they release alongside the Mythic. So yeah, hopefully the new book doesn't go too crazy with the power creep, because Light Dark Season is in a really delicate place right now in terms of like the balance between the two. I'd say it's actually balanced right now, but if the Mythic is too powerful, then we're going to be in a bit of a real tough position when it comes to defense, because there really isn't much that you can do on defense in Dark Season, because everything is pretty much hard count, or there's a counter to pretty much everything. So I do understand why Kavase was released. I don't know if I'm saying it wrong. I really don't care. But because she gives that extra dance, so it gives you an extra dancer, because a lot of times Strandra is kind of booty because she attacks. Her attack stat is too high. And also, it gives you the warping. So that's two things that would have been taken from you via Katria and Triandra. Even though you can probably still warp with Katria, but it's just an extra layer of unpredictability that is added there. It's kind of like the Brave Robin warp in a sense, but it covers.
State your wishes.
I feel like it covers more spaces, and it gives more versatility in terms of defense building, because you do get the range nuke, but also you get to keep all of your other units, and you don't have to add Brave Robin in. You could if you want to, but it's not like mandatory. So I like how unique her design is. It's just down to getting her to survive combat, and also a lot of that is based on her outspeeding, which is going to be tough, because we're going to get an increase, or when do they do the increase in dragon flowers? I think it's going to be soon that they're going to be increasing the amount of dragons, if they haven't done it already. Or is it the BST bump? Something is going to be increasing for the new book. I don't remember which one it is. It's probably the BST bump. But the BST bump also means an increase in the amount of dragon flowers. So I think one of those two things is going to happen, which means it's going to be harder to keep up with speed creep. So I don't know what that means for Kavase herself, but yeah, it's gonna be tough. I found so far that it's really nice building a defense around her. It's just that the balance is tough. There aren't a lot of good nukes in the game, and the majority of the nukes that you would use are really in Astra Anima Season.
Leave it to us.
And I say that knowing that a lot of the power of nukes, they are powerful, but a lot of their power came from being able to quad with Katria, and since that's kind of 50-50, whether or not the opponent brings Heather, it's kind of tough to consistently get kills. And you'd have to depend on like the truly powerful nukes, like the quads and I wouldn't even like. Dual Sanaki is like one of them, but I wouldn't even like count her. I don't think Dark Season is her best season, whereas Claude really works in both. I don't think Sanaki is best suited for for Light Dark Season. So that doesn't really leave you with a lot of options in terms of what you can run alongside the Kavase. And yeah, that's really what it boils down to. So I do think they're going to be releasing some new nukes to make up for the catcher problem. I don't like the 50-50.
Softly now.
It's so easy just to bring the skill, to bring Heather, and pretty much counter catcher balls alongside Gatekeeper, and everything else that kind of hard countered capture balls already, or not even hard countered, but just made them not as successful.
State your wishes.
And then you add that to the hard counter, then it's kind of it's not a good time to be running a capture ball. I think once we get nukes that are strong enough, and we can then start adding capture back to the mix consistently, because then whether or not she's there, you'll still be able to get the kill. And the quadding is just an extra bonus to make it look pretty. But as of right now, there just aren't enough powerful nukes in the game, I feel. And also, I don't think, well, I don't know if a lot of people have been paying attention, but the, what do I want to say? The tanks are getting stronger, which is, of course, how you would expect things to go, naturally. Ebbs and flows and all. Particularly using that Ninja Zelgius as an example is very, very hard to kill, which is why I've said that the nukes aren't like where they were or before Catria. You need a lot of effort to take out a unit like Ninja Zelgius. And either that or you have Gununga Gap with the flash, but her herself isn't the best unit. Maybe if she was on a capture ball, she'd probably be able to perform well. That's one thing, that's one option that you could potentially look at. The partnership of those two combined should be able to bring you a lot of results. But kind of still gets hard countered by Lucia, which is her name, as she says in her voice line. Lucia. But yeah, tough goings, tough times. I'm probably just gonna leave my units here. This isn't like the best position, but I don't think Claude will be able to warp to me, which is the only concern that I have here. Let me think about this real quick. Hold on.
Undoubtedly.
You know what I've been doing lately? Lately I've been reading Black Clover. I've actually been reading the manga, and man, is it like disappointing. In comparison to something like One Piece, which is actually not that high of a standard. Yeah, it's the story is really lacking. If you read the manga, it's really not. You see how flawed the story is, because it's so fast-paced. It doesn't really leave a lot of room for story development, even though there's a lot going on there as the story progresses, or as the chapters progress. It definitely translates better as an anime than as a manga, which makes sense in terms of like how it's portrayed as an action shonen. Not the best read. I've gotten to pretty much where the latest chapter is, but I gotta say it's a bit underwhelming. I've watched it, and it was way better as a watch when it was an anime format. But I think pretty much they stopped because they didn't want to do a bunch of filler, because they pretty much caught up with where the manga was, and they had to like go on a hiatus. And in all honesty, it really isn't much further apart from where they dropped off. And it looks like they're like trying to wrap things up, which is kind of understandable. They don't usually go for that long. Only the best ones really last that long, and Black Clover isn't necessarily one of those, just based off the writing alone. But the action sequences are looking like they're going to be pretty fantastic in terms of the fight scenes, because looking at a panel where two people are fighting in an anime, in a manga, is really not the most interesting thing. It's really better to watch it after it's animated. But I'm looking for something else to watch. I'll find something sooner or later. There's so many things to pick from. But GG's kind of ended up talking about something else there. But see you in the next one.